Boxingego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. I'm still in Las Vegas, having a phenomenal time. Lots of great coverage. I have the Mikey Garcia post-fight, and that should be on the channel by the time you see this video. Now I want to give my thoughts, the Ego thoughts, the Boxingego, the Realest, Dejan Zlaticanin versus Mikey Garcia breakdown. And I was at the fight, MGM Grand Garden Arena. It was lit. I had a great time. I'm glad that I got to experience this fight. I enjoyed the card. Shout out to Ringstar Sports, Richard Schaefer, Premier Boxing Champs, the Black Hitler, if that's what you want to call him, Al Heyman, and just all the fighters on the card. I really had a good time. Now, I want to give my post-fight for Dejan Zlaticanin and Mikey Garcia. I gotta say, without a shadow of doubt, being there live, watching all these fights, Mikey Garcia stole the show for me. I thought he took what was ordinarily a dangerous opponent and he chopped him into mincemeat, and he made it look very easy. So I was super impressed. It wasn't competitive to me. I want to go over some tweets. I was doing live round by round tweets, and I'm going to let you know why I was impressed. Now, if you don't know boxing and you only look for big names and you never heard of Dejan Zlaticanin, and you're not going to, maybe some people put like, oh, Mikey fought another Uber driver or something crazy, but you got to respect it. This man was a WBC champion, not a paper. Everyone respects the green belt. And like you've seen here in the quick, immediate reaction, Mikey Garcia annihilates champ Dejan Zlaticanin, third round KO, full fight reaction, right? And this is my live in real time, being in the arena, watching the fight live. I said round one for Mikey, ring generalship, keeping Dejan at bay with his jab, needs to establish the second punch, as in a 1-2. And I thought in the first round, he was doing a great job with the jab, bop, 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 and kept the jab out there. But I thought he should have followed it up with the second punch. Just he was keeping him at bay and then hit him with the right. I said Dejan was winging big shots and he was stalking. So he was stalking and coming forward, but he was, see, this is the thing. People aren't going to respect this, but the reason I'm impressed, this is Mikey Garcia's very first fight at lightweight, right? He fought Elias Rojas at 140 after like a 2-year break or hiatus because he was dealing with the lawsuit with Top Rank, and he wanted to taper his body down after being on the sidelines, which is respectable. And he brought up a guy, Elias Rojas wasn't a true 140 pounder. And the thing that I respect is he looked better against a more dangerous opponent than he did to me in the Rojas fight. In the Rojas fight, I watched that. It was on the Leo Santa Cruz Carl Frampton Part 1, and it was on the co-main event in New York. And the thing is, Mikey Garcia, he looked a bit ring rusty at the 140. He looked, and he obviously got the stoppage. His power showed up, and he stopped Rojas. But Rojas was kind of gamey and cagey, and it took Mikey Garcia a couple rounds, I think like 1 or 2 rounds, to shake off the cobwebs. And you know, I mean, that's normal. You take 2 years off dealing with legal trouble, things of that sort. But he went in there with the champion and just destroyed him, and that was Dejan Zlaticanin. And again, if you're only looking for big names, you might not respect this win, but I don't think anybody would have made Dejan Zlaticanin look like that, right? He stopped Ivan Redkach, who was on the undercard, and just won by knockout, right? And Ivan Redkach was a guy who went the distance with Tevin Farmer. He was getting schooled by my dude Tevin Farmer, but he still went the distance. But Dejan stopped him. Also fought Ricky Burns, who is maybe like a 2-time champion. He lost his belt to Terrence Crawford, and then he got a belt after that, right? So wherever you rate Ricky Burns, he's still, I mean, that's his accomplishment. He's been a champion more than once. And Dejan beat him in Ricky Burns' backyard, Scotland, and then he just was no match for Mikey Garcia. I really like how Mikey was setting him up. And the thing is, I don't think everybody would make Dejan Zlaticanin at 135 look like that, right? But Mikey controlled him with the jab. And then I said, Mikey, round 2, controlled the pace, and he did what I was asking in the first round by following up with the second punch. He was landing heavy shots. Dejan, the shorter man, no jab, and he needs one ASAP. I told you guys. And you can, when I do my round by round, listen, like, to this is just my opinion, of course, but this is, well, I'm trying to show you what I see, because I could see the setup, and you had the shorter man. Just because you're the shorter man doesn't mean you can't jab your way in. And you got, it's almost like what I kind of learned from boxing is you almost want to be a mirror for your opponent. For example, if he's destroying your body and he's just rap and he's ripping to your body, maybe you should go to his body. See how he likes that, right? If he's jabbing you, bow, and he's popping out all these jabs, maybe you should try to establish your jab, right? Knock off Mikey Garcia's rhythm. And I do believe Dejan Zlaticanin has power to hurt lightweights, but you have to hit a target. And then Mikey was just so defensively responsible. Mikey in this fight showed me that he's exactly what the saying, there's levels to this shit. Levels. And that's what he showed. He showed his experience. He showed he was calm and composed. He showed that he had power. He showed ring generalship, a better defense, a way better jab. And he just showed that overall there was levels to this. And Dejan fighting Ricky Burns and Ivan Redcatch, those guys are solid, but they're no Mikey Garcia, right? Coming from a fight family, coming from Boxnard, aka Oxnard, right? And I was really impressed by Mikey Garcia. I thought he looked really good out there. And this is why I respect his win too, because people don't take this stuff into consideration. Dejan is still dangerous because he has power and he's winging some wild shots. So if you respect boxing, or if you box, or if you fought before, if you just observe and study the game, you'll know what I'm talking about. And anytime a guy has a 90% knockout ratio, 85 or whatever Dejan Zlaticanin his knockout percentage is, and he's trying to hit you with haymakers and home run shots, it's still a danger because he has power, and if any of those accidentally hit you, then you might get rattled, you might get your bell rung. You know what I'm saying? So to me, even though Mikey was controlling things, you still, especially early, you know what I mean? And people don't forget, not everyone's Floyd Mayweather, where during the stretch they come alive, and you know what I mean, people fatigue sets in and stuff like that, and some people aren't as defensively responsible as Floyd. So in the later rounds that could really be a danger, or even in the beginning rounds it could be a danger, because that's when everyone's fresh and you have the most steam probably on your punches, right? Unless you're in really good stamina and you get a second win and you're actually stronger than in the early rounds. But I think Dejan was still dangerous, even though he wasn't winning the first two rounds. And it didn't make it past the round 3, but I was getting ready to tweet what Dejan needed to do, and it was kind of more of the same. Dejan had no jab, and he's stalking, and he's getting plowed every time that he comes forward. But I didn't even have to, because Mikey knocked him out brutally. This is a knockout of the year. Post-fight, Mikey Garcia said, "This is, unless I'm forgetting something, this is probably the most devastating knockout in my career." That's what Mikey Garcia said at the press conference, and I would have to agree. He's knocked out other guys, Rocky Martinez, he knocked out Elias Rojas and stuff, but this was a brutal knockout, and it was just set up and executed perfectly. I don't know. He stole the show. He was the fighter, and you see my tweet. Wow, Mikey stretched him. It's over, round 3. And just to do that to a champion with power and make him look that amateurish, when Ricky Burns, Ivan Redcatch, and the other opponents, I seen him fight another fight. He was like one of the opening acts on another Showtime card, and I think it was when he became the WBC champion. And he looked solid, but against Mikey Garcia, again, there's levels to it. And if you want to watch it, I can't show it for copyright reasons. It's not my clip, but you could watch it on my page. And it was just nasty what Mikey did to him. He set him up with a nasty uppercut.
Well, he kept coming in.
See, so Dejan, being the shorter man, he launched an attack from really far out, and then he missed. Mikey it looked almost like a pull counter with his head. He pulled his head back, and then he follows up with a nasty uppercut.
But I was keeping him with the jab at distance, then I saw an opportunity for that uppercut.
Right there. That's where he got hurt, right there with that uppercut. He was hurt, and then from that point, he was separated from his senses. Like, he was rattled. He was, when you get hit like that, flush and by a power puncher like Mikey Garcia, it's not a good thing. And he was already, his bell was rung from this shot right here, and then he kind of, his arms at his waist, like runs and falls into the ring, and he's out of position, and Mikey Garcia just nailed him again with the right and just knocked him out cold. Like, before he hit the mat, he was out. You could see his eyes go to sleep, right? Brutal stuff, man. Boxing is no joke at all. But Mikey is a true professional, and he's an experienced fighter because he knew his man was hurt and he went in for the kill. And Dejan, he made one of the most rookie mistakes you can make. When you get hurt like that, you could at least like take a knee or something, or if you're not separated from your senses and you can't clinch or something, it's just stupid. The end is near. So fighters don't, I'm telling you guys, fighters need to know how to stay alive, because Dejan seems pretty tough to me. You know what I mean? He seems like he's a tough dude, but there's only so much blunt force trauma that the brain can even take. And these fighters, a lot of them, when they lack experience, they don't know how to, they've never been this hurt. I don't know what type of sparring they're getting, but it's just not a good thing. And they don't know what to do when they're hurt, or their machismo kicks in. I know before at the final press conference and stuff, Dejan was like, this Saturday, everyone's going to know my name, and basically we're going to put on a show and make Mikey into a spectacle. Like, with our win, we're going to knock him out and stuff like that. So maybe it's a machismo thing, and even though they're hurt, they don't know what to do. But I've seen the same thing kind of with Julian J. Rock Williams, where no one's taking a knee, no one's like getting an aggressive clinch that the opponent can't get out of. Then you're going to get destroyed, because he was clearly hurt from this uppercut, and then he just fell into the ropes out of position, looking like almost sideways, and then Mikey just like blindsides him, just steps in front of him and bow, and just, it was nasty. What's the song? Murder, She Wrote. Great performance though. Shout out to the Corona girl too, man. But I thought Mikey looked real good in this particular fight. He did his thing. He dethroned a champion in true form, and there's nothing you could say. He just made the lightweight division pop even more. And honestly, I would have picked Mikey Garcia. I didn't get to do an official prediction. I would have picked him because he's a technician, but I thought he would maybe even have to dig deep in this particular fight. I didn't think it would be a blowout where he's going to dominate rounds 1 and 2 and then destroy him by knockout like that, because he was in the new weight division, and he just, you know what I mean, put the division on notice. There's a lot of great fighters there. Robert Easter Jr., that's the fight I want to see at lightweight. He's also a champion. He just has to get past his February title defense, which he should, against Cruz. You have Jorge Linares fighting Anthony Corolla over in the UK again. That's an option. If Linares wins again, I think Linares, I like Linares a lot, but he seems a bit chinny. He can box beautifully, and I think that would probably give Mikey more trouble than a come forward guy. But I don't know if he can take, because Mikey's he has good precision, and I don't know if he can take if Linares can take his punches. He's pretty accurate, you know what I mean? He's a good counter puncher. Would I like Mikey Garcia? He has a very, and you kind of forget when these fighters disappear from the spotlight for whatever reason, legal trouble, injury, bad promoter, whatever, you almost forget how good they are, and you forget little stuff. Like, I forgot how good of a left hook Mikey Garcia has, you know what I mean? Because I hadn't seen him in a while. But he has an awesome, I think him and Canelo have underrated left hooks. Like, people don't talk about their left hooks enough. They have really good hooks. He was shooting the uppercut. I mean, he did what he had to do, and he looked damn good in doing it. He also said that he's open to fight Broner. The video is on the page. Terrence Crawford. He said those are all future fights. His brother said Showtime has presented them. But Dejan, he has to learn from this experience. He was out of position. He wasn't jabbing, and the experience played a part. Like, Mikey he just showed that separation with his experience and his power and his style and skill. And the other thing that's impressive is he just came into a new division, didn't seem he just seemed at home. Like, he didn't seem like he was like whole leading up, like fight week leading up to it. He didn't really seem like he was shook or worried about Dejan Zlaticanin's power at all. He just seemed uber confident, chill, and just relaxed. And I was happy for him. Post-fight, he seemed genuinely happy. He's like, this is the happiest I've been in quite some time. He said, when I won my first title, it wasn't even that big of a deal. He said, when I won my second title, I was like, yeah, this is cool. But he said, right now, everything feels great. So I think he likes the Premier Boxing Champs platform, Richard Schaefer, and I think he likes how he's being handled, and he's no pressure. He's not actually signed. I talked to Robert Garcia, and he said they haven't signed an actual promotional pact, but they're open. They're kind of like a free agent, and they're like kind of working with Schaefer or whatever opportunities present itself. So I don't know. I was just impressed with Mikey Garcia. I thought he had the dominant performance that put his division on notice. Like, hey, I'm back. So shout out to Mikey Garcia. Let me know what you guys thought. Devastating knockout. Definitely one of the knockouts to beat in the years young. Showtime. Getting it done, man. The whole first quarter of 2017 has been all Premier Boxing Champs, all Showtime. I didn't get to see the HBO card, obviously, because I was covering this card. But I heard Francisco Vargas lost. So that shook up his division. He lost his WBC belt. And I heard about the Takashi Miura fight, but those fights don't compare to this particular card. James DeGale, Badu Jack with Tank Davis on the undercard. I have an interview with Tank. Shout out to my dude, Javante Tank Davis. That'll be on the channel. So I'm out here working. I'm enjoying myself. Mikey Garcia is knocking people's brains out and decapitating people. And I feel like he feels at home. Like, this is like, he's like, actually, this poster he said, this is what he said at the press conference: the best is yet to come. And based on that performance, I don't think you could really say he's lying. And he's still undefeated. So let me know what you guys thought and broke down, or how you broke down his performance. Thought he looked real good out there, and he made the division interesting. Like I said, Robert Easter is the fight I want to see, but Crawford, Broner, these are all good fights. He's a technical fighter. He has power, he has confidence, he has experience. Drop in the comment section. Make sure you share the video, like the video as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, is Ego signing off.